Hate manifests in Aotearoa by way of fear of the unknown. It's exacerbated by way of ignorance. We started our lives, my sister and I, abroad. My father worked from contract to contract, focusing on renewable energy, and so we would go to some of the farthest corners of the world. We were raised, rooted on a foundation of understanding that diversity exists on this planet. Those are some of my primary experiences into life, and people were just willing to give the shirts off their back to you. Always greeted with a smile, often a hug as well. At the root of it all, what I would summarize is the fact that people are good all around the planet. When it came to experiencing negative things around hate, around bias, around racism, I did not experience that until I moved to Christchurch. I'll never forget feeling like I was so different and that people, my peers of my age group, were so prepared to let me know about that. You know, I was this fair Māori boy who had these wonderful stories if you'd stopped to get to know me, who had this random Māori name, Mananui. You know, often people would try and shorten it. Is there an easier way we can say this? Because you're making me uncomfortable. Your shared existences. So these are the things that are quite confronting when returning back to my own takiwa. Yeah, I was 11 years of age. I remember being at the urinal, having a mihi, and I remember being pushed into it. And I remember just turning around, looking at somebody, and there was these kids there just to, I guess, there is an aggressiveness, and it's really hard to articulate, but I experienced a lot of that moving forward. The best opportunities that I could take out of those times was I was real good at sports, bro. Put a ball in my hand. This is quite a cathartic experience for me to be able to, finally got the upper hand. Yeah, I played for school at intermediate, and then I went into the club scene and I found a home. I found a place, a melting pot of a working class Christchurch. That was the first place that I could find where the bias towards me for no apparent reason other than the fact that I was different didn't exist. I'm really grateful for my rugby club because of that, because I was yearning for connection. I am blessed with awesome friends, people who I'd call whānau. When one's intention is simply to assert authority over another, that creates a culture where it's cultivated. And that sets the tone of all the conversations that happens in the community and is mixed and stirred and miri-miri'd in the home. March 15th, 2019 doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Pisses me off. As tangata whenua, as mana whenua, I was raised as a kaiwero. My number one job was to run out in front and make sure that you came with good intentions. If not, I'll donk you on the head. As mana whenua, being in town on that day, I felt helpless. I felt like we'd let exactly what I was raised to protect our people against straight through the front door. All of a sudden, everything that you've seen on television was at our doorstep, from a contemporary context thing, from a global thing, not a Māori thing, not our history thing. He was an angry young man, basically, and had hatred all through his heart. And yeah, my mihi as well goes to his parents. You know, I wonder how they are. I wonder what conversations he was having at his house to make him hate that much. How about you? It starts and finishes in the house. You could argue it actually starts and finishes within yourself as well. All I can do is control my thoughts and my actions and my behaviours, and I can hopefully have an influence on my daughters. And so, my language. What am I saying? What am I emitting on a daily basis to my daughters? and how are they receiving that? Am I role modelling good behaviours in the community beyond that point? And so having brave conversations in ways that is committed to the maintenance of one's mana. So I leave that conversation with a friend that perhaps maybe said a racist thing, like a bit of a passive one, towards somebody else. I say, hey bro, you probably don't realise it, but that's been received like this. And I'm just letting you know, man. How would that make you feel? Oh, no, it's just a joke. Well, it seems to me like we're always the joke and you're always the one laughing. Do we realise that our impact, or do we intend for our impact to be like that? Immediately after the March 2019 attacks, it showed that we can rally together after great tragedy, like we've already done several times in the city, like we've done in the earthquakes. It collectivised the intent, irrespective of race, gender, whatever, to get something done. So I guess on this topic of hate, what's it going to take for us to do the same on that stuff? Shed light on it. Let the light shine through and heal